Hi, ladies and gentlemen, Eddie Marcus here. And I must say to you that the truth must be made known. There are elections coming up, I understand, in November, and people are strategizing, gerrymandering, uh, doing whatever they can, stacking people in positions that to cheat, do anything to take advantage of one another in the system. And you want to make sure you get good politicians that represent you and not sellouts. I was thinking about that, ladies and gentlemen, as spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people. I must tell you, don't waste your time with that. Don't even waste your time at all. You see, the truth of the matter is that every human being on the face of the earth came here with nothing. You didn't bring anything with you, and you're not going to take anything out. And stealing, amassing while you're here, for whatever your reasons might be, is not legit. And it has to stop now. Every human being on the face of the earth who came here on this earth, all of the resources have always been here. And they are here for the benefit of everybody that's here. And everybody that's here have a requirement to participate in life by choosing something that they love doing. And by doing that, it entitles them to anything that's being done on earth that they desire, want, or need. I'm saying that means that people who go into medicine go in because they love it. And I'm telling you, it's going to take a lot of people on earth, and they're doing the best that can be done to make sure that they cure people from sickness. And when I say that, I'm speaking in that regard to everything on earth that we as human beings engage ourselves in. And what I'm talking to you about is something that's right. Now, I know you're going to talk about what you know. You're going to talk about system. You're going to talk about constitution or whatever you're talking about. It doesn't matter. Everything that exists, when it comes up to what's right, right always wins. And this is right. This is right that not one human being on this earth can suffer at the hands of we the people because we're ignorant. You know, the truth of the matter is, I maybe can give you an example of what it's like. People try to say they understand life. They try to say they understand God. They say they don't understand love. They're just as backward as they can be. Because really, they look at, and all the things that they're attached to them is no more than a marriage. And we have heard that marriage divorces were dime a dozen, something like that, but 50% or more now. But I want you to know, and I'm sure that those of you who have been divorced, whatever the situation was, there was one that was glad to go, and there was another one that wasn't. And why? You know the reasons why. But my saying to you today, ladies and gentlemen, being right is to make sure that it doesn't matter. If you can't love and it's not real, then you split. But there's no pain to either gain. Why? Because we have it set up in such a way that life goes on. There's no pain. What happens today if the woman has to leave and the man with the one working? The worst you can do is get on the street. And Lord have mercy. Let's say that the woman was the man. Well, it's not. Well, whatever happens, happens. And I've seen a lot of men with trash bags. But that's not the key, ladies and gentlemen. My message to you to tell you, my message here is we got to do what's right. We got to make sure. And this is what I'm telling you to do. I don't care what you've been thinking about doing. I don't care what you think is the best thing to do. I don't care what the rich folks are saying. I don't care what the poor folks are saying. I'm telling you what God is saying. God's saying it's time to cut this crap out. And it is time for us to show some love. Now, we don't know it, but the ones who do, me, I'm telling you about love. I want to show some love. Could because I'm old as I'm not gonna try to cheat you. I might be on my way out of here. And as far as I'm concerned, even though I spend my life talking about God, I haven't seen the impact beyond myself. And I guess that's all I can control anyway. But I wanted to see the pain and suffering. I wanted to see people who had joy in life, who were free. And to me, that all came from knowing the truth. Now, see, when you know the truth, you're going to be challenged. You got to stand up and represent the truth. Otherwise, it's a waste of time. And when you stand up and represent the truth and the, and the numbers that you're doing, well, you just can't hardly say because it depends on God and what God is doing. God might allow you to change a whole bunch of stuff just because God wanted it done. And there might be a time you're doing the same thing, you don't accomplish a thing. And the other times you'll be doing something, be killed. It's all okay because God is the master. And those who know God appreciate that. In other words, what I'm saying is this. Everybody that knows God is free. They're not afraid of death. So they stand up and they speak the truth. They'll stand up against Trump. They'll stand up against democracy. They'll stand up against socialism. They'll stand up against any ism and speak the truth about God. God says nobody should suffer. He has prepared it that no one should be going through agony. Now the devil says, we know what the devil says because we all follow it. And then there's something spiritually, I'm gonna give you an example about the spiritual. Let me go to, I've been divorced, so I can talk about it. I went through some changes. And in my mind, I'm thinking, I know what God is saying. That, hey, I didn't want to divorce her. But my wife didn't understand what was going on. So she said she didn't want to be a part of it. You can't force people to be a part of what they don't want to be a part of. So it was acceptable. But all the time, when I'm thinking about how you have to deal with the enemy out here, because people are not conditioned to think the way I was thinking. And then you think about in your mind, all kinds of things going through your mind trying to set you up, make you angry, make you act crazy, make you act out of the norm, which is for you. And if you don't, when they're talking about the principalities you're fighting with, principalities that this war is going on, it's there, ladies and gentlemen. And it's hard. But if you know the truth, just do the truth. Do the truth. Now, I know I talked a lot of stuff that's a little crazy tonight, and that's okay. But I want you to get that message, ladies and gentlemen. If you are not talking about, I don't care what Megan's talking about. Let me say this. If you're not just talking, I'm talking about talking and planning to make sure that everybody, not just those that's coming. Somebody say, well, you can't get an abortion. Fine. Bring them on in here. Because we finna take it, they finna live. Come on in here. They're gonna live. We know what? We're gonna make sure they're gonna live because the ones that are here too already, we're gonna guarantee that they're gonna live. We're all gonna live. That's right. We're all gonna get involved in life. We're all gonna stand up for what's right. And we're not gonna let anybody, Trump, me, nobody send us down the wrong way. The wrong way is that when you look at that and somebody got pain and suffering. Nope, it's over. Now I'm gonna cut this off.